This weekend, Ryan is seasoning meat, Andy plays board games by the pool, and we wonder if the Genesis can handle a 3D powerhouse. I'm Ryan.
I'm Andy.
And this is Weekend Rental, episode 223. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode. Andy, how you been?
Pretty good. It's been pretty good lately. Got to see you, which was kind of something that doesn't happen too often anymore.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, we got the pleasure of going to see The Offspring live at the Fargo Dome. That was something.
Yeah. First time they've been to North Dakota.
Yes, apparently. And they had Bad Religion open for them. And it was apparently the second time they've ever been to North Dakota. And I saw them the last time too, so pretty proud of myself.
Super fan, they call you.
Yes, get out of my way for a concert every 20 years to see Bad Religion. So, yeah. Have you come to grips with what you watched at that concert yet?
I'm still kind of reeling from it. Like I said, when I was there, I had to record certain bits of it just to prove to myself the next day it was actually happening. Luckily, there was also a lot of people on YouTube that did it, and it was even better quality and even more ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really weird. I mean, Bad Religion kind of did their set, and they were good, and you know, even though they I mean, their first album from like 1982. So, I mean, you can imagine how old these guys are.
They got done so dirty, though. Like, it pisses me off that they didn't have like a regional act opening for them ahead. Because, like, they threw them out there with no warm up, like, way at the beginning of the show while people are still like trickling in. So, like, I would say like maybe half the audience hadn't even gotten there before Bad Religion took the stage. And then, you know, like for one of the most like prolific and respected punk rock bands, just felt kind of shitty. It irritated me a little bit. It didn't make their performance any different, because I think they're kind of one of those bands that's going to come out and do the same show regardless of how the crowd's acting or not.
Oh,
it's just kind of their MO, you know?
Yeah, I don't think they care.
No. And like you said,
do you think, I mean, Offspring is, you know, they certainly dabble in the punk rock scene, but they are a little bit more mainstream, especially a few of their songs, that a certain percentage of the audience there probably has never heard a Bad Religion song in the first place, right?
That's fair, other than like, you know, a Tony Hawk soundtrack or something, maybe.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that, and especially the younger kids. I mean, skate punk has fallen out of fashion long ago. I guess it's kind of getting a resurgence, but yeah, if you're not up on that, you're probably not going to know who they are, which is a shame.
Weird, though. I mean, like you said, they're one of the like grandfathers of it, you know.
Yes, I mean they're the blueprint for like what a solid decade of punk rock was, which was like this super fast, stripped down like skate punk sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then to be just like an opening act level of a it was interesting.
Which, you know, interesting enough though too. It's like their, you know, Bad Religion's guitarist is famously the founder of Epitaph Records, and the Smash album from The Offspring was literally, I think it's like still like the best-selling independent record of all time. It literally
from Epitaph,
so like Smash literally funded basically 10 years of other bands and like kept that label going. So it's kind of some interesting history there.
I also,
but then go ahead.
Well, this was just before we get off Bad Religion. I was looking kind of just through their whole discography, right? And there's like the first album is 1982, and then their next one is 1988.
That's not actually true.
Right. There's so I looked at
there's an album.
What? what happened here? That one's not
there's
on
a prog
Spotify.
rock. There's a prog rock album that is not on any streaming platforms, and it is like canon is like just lore for like this absurd thing that nobody likes, and the band fails to recognize.
Yep. So I found it on YouTube and I listened to some of that, and it's like this is wild. It's not anything like what they were doing.
To go from their first album to that was a wild shift.
Yeah,
that's funny. I had a guy at a vinyl swap meet try to get me to buy that. I'm like, no, thank you. I'm like, that's not the one I want. I'm like, I know of it. I'm not going to buy it. Yeah. And then like the real fun started, I feel like, after Bad Religion. I thought their set was great. But boy, does the Offspring know how to throw a concert. So let's set the stage for everyone. Basically, they turn on all the house lights in between acts. They fly an indoor blimp, Offspring blimp around. And then up on the big screen, they got like all the typical cheesy shit you see at like a college or a major league sports game with like, guess which cup the ball's under. And then there's a guy in a gorilla suit. Yeah, shooting out t-shirts, which again, not totally weird, but then they start getting into like, let's do the kiss cam. And they got like the stupid announcer voice. And then it was the lookalike cam. It was like, it set the completely wrong tone, which should have been an indicator that things were not going to get better. But I think at that point I was still like, oh, okay, this is just something dumb that they're doing in between. But the whole production was kind of that bad.
Yeah, I was hoping that it was going to turn into something like, I thought they were going to make it weird. And they kind of did at the end, but it wasn't, they didn't go far enough to flip that whole process on the head. But
yeah, it did not feel whatsoever like a rock concert, and it was weird. And then it didn't get a whole lot better from there. They came out and played probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes of their songs, which they sounded good. I'll give them that. Yeah. But the production again was just like bonkers crazy with just like barf up clip art on all the live cams. And like, it was just like so obnoxious and weird, which I guess is kind of the Offspring. And then the middle of the show happened. And they did probably 15 minutes of crowd work. Like not even really good crowd work.
No, I mean, you don't have to. I mean, everybody from Fargo knows that, you know, they know where they live, right?
Right.
They know the size of the town and what North Dakota is. They don't need somebody there to be like, "There's 1 million people here today."
Right.
And just kind of like overblowing it. It's just awful.
Yeah, I mean, I once went to an Everclear concert in Grand Forks where they just stopped in between songs. Were like, this place fucking sucks. Why does anyone live here? And I think I respect that more than what the Offspring did. Granted, we booed him. But yeah, it was just...
Bad Religion was like, who's the most famous person from Fargo? Like, I think there was a quarterback.
Right. I'm sure people in the front row were like, Josh Duhamel. He's not from Fargo, but
close enough.
Has a place here. Yeah. So yeah, it was like the usual crowd work. It was just very long. And then they spun that off into not one, but 3 Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath covers, which they did to varying lengths.
Yeah,
the last one I think was the most complete.
I know this riff, and it's like, yeah, so does most guitar players when they first start playing. So it was a little weird.
Yeah, and like I was telling Andy, like I'm already not like a huge Offspring fan. I don't mind them, but I really don't like Ozzy. So hearing a band that you don't really care for cover a band you really hate is just kind of like double insulting. And I know a lot of people like Ozzy, and I'm weird, but what was really weird is what they did next, and that was shut off all the lights after their 3 Ozzy and Sabbath songs. And then a piano was brought on stage. And
I was at full attention at that point because I knew something good was going to happen after that.
Treat. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we were treated to, as he explained to the crowd, a very meaningful and piano solo rendition of Gone Away, which I don't have a problem with so much in itself. Like, that's your song. If you want to treat it like that, that's great. Like, but it is one of your more like known songs. So like, I kind of would have liked to have heard the version that I like.
At the same time, it is very much the one that doesn't sound the most like Offspring either.
Yeah. Right.
So if you were going to do a piano one or something like that, or do it different, this is probably the one to do it.
Yes. And then what happened next was, I think, where Andy and I collectively just like lost our fucking minds, because they did a cover of Hey Jude. That's right. The Offspring did a full piano, full band cover of Hey Jude.
Yeah. And so they've set up coming off of like that other song where it was like really important to me.
Yeah.
And he's talking about how like music is so healing and stuff.
Right. Which is funny to hear from the Offspring is the band. Yeah. There's like, oh, they saved my life. If I hadn't listened to Come Out and Play, I'd have just like ended it all. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. And then, it would be fun. I mean, it would be funny if they did that out of the gate, you know, if they brought the piano out there and be like, now we're going to do Hey Jude. I think that would be hilarious as a joke.
But they were like, the fact that this band that we've just watched do a whole like Ozzy tribute is now like covering the Beatles is so bizarre. But then the absolute next perfect thing happened. So we've established they did this meaningful Gone Away. They did Hey Jude. And then what happens next? It goes back to full band, and they just come in with, my friend's got a girlfriend and he hates that bitch. Just complete 180. And then they followed that right up with Fly for a White Guy. I'm like, what the fuck just happened here? Like, what is going on? Oh my God. I was like in so much disbelief and just like, I could not wrap my head around what we had just witnessed.
Yeah,
it's
and the fact that they play it so straight is the problem, right? Like
100%.
The tone is just like all over the place. At some point, they did a Ramones song where the gorilla's back out on the stage doing a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, they did. I Want to Be Sedated. That's right. I forgot that he came back out. Someone explained to me if the gorilla is part of Offspring lore too, because I'm familiar with like the Green Day bunny, but like I wasn't aware that this gorilla thing was a thing at Offspring concerts. Yeah, I guess I left really not liking that concert. I mean, I like that I got to witness whatever the fuck that was. But like since then, I think I've had a couple days to just settle into, you know what I witnessed was the exact, it was the visual interpretation of how I view the Offspring anyway. So it's just kind of a messy whatevs like shit show of a band. And that was the show they put on. So I'm fine with it. I'll never go see them again. I was mostly there for Bad Religion, and it was cheap, dirt cheap.
Yeah.
But holy crap. I guarantee you in our lives, we'll never see a concert more just like bonkers and tonally deaf.
Yeah. And the fact that it's like they had no faith in their own music, right, Ben?
That's the problem. Yeah.
Or like even, yeah.
Because I mean, it was 40% of that concert was not their songs. I mean, that's and rambling, you know.
And the video screen being nonstop of just like, hey, look at this, look at this, look at this.
Right.
Like,
oh God, if you were a person with like epilepsy, you'd have fucking spazzed out 2 seconds into that thing.
Yeah. It's like we just can't have a normal. Like they just didn't think they had a leg to stand on to just do a normal concert, and I'm like, I mean, you've had enough songs. You're totally successful enough to pull that off. You're still good at the songs that you do. I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt about it too. And we should also mention that like in the first leg where they were actually playing their songs, we thought it seemed like they were going to go into the good old fashioned like mashup where we like take like 3 or 4 of our hits and do like sections of them. But they didn't. They did like 30 seconds of one song and then transition into, I don't even remember which one, keep them separated, and they just played the whole thing or something. I was like,
yeah, it was
the fuck
really
kind
weird.
of mash? Like, if you're gonna do a mashup, do like 3 songs that like kind of flow into each other. It was
at some point maybe
weird.
I respect it. Maybe they were kind of like, we really hate that section of the song. Let's just drop it and go into something else. But
yeah,
or they can't play it
yeah,
live. Maybe that's sometimes that's overproduced music. You can't really pull that off sometimes. But
yeah, yeah. The whole thing was just wild. Like you said, like the weird spastic camera, like the giant fucking skeletons for like half the show for some reason. That actually there was a lot of skeletons. There was like skeletons and everything, like in the intermissions, and so crazy
I
though.
mean, I guess their logo is a skull and Smash is
Yeah,
a skeleton
that's
on
true.
the cover. So it's probably
I
like the
will
main
say though,
iconography.
that was probably the best laugh I've had in a long time.
Yeah.
Was during that section of Hey Jude when you and I just like had the realization that like this was insane. Oh, and the dipshit kid next to me was just eating it all up like it was the greatest thing he'd ever seen. Something wrong with him. He also had to videotape or with his camera everything that happened. I'm like, just put that thing down, get it out of my face.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, if you like the Offspring, you'll probably like the songs that they're going to play. They do them well.
Correct. They did do them well, to their credit.
Yeah. And for that part, it was just like, just be yourselves, guy. It like actually be an Offspring concert.
Yes, I agree. I'm also proud of us sitting up in the nosebleeds that neither one of us had a heart attack on one of our trips up and down those stairs. Because man, my heart was racing at that first one. I was like, I almost don't want to go to the bathroom at intermission. I might not make it back.
Yeah, I didn't make it. It was such a climb up there. I had like 2 sips of beer. And I'm like, holy shit, I have to piss already.
Well, aside from our amazing, oh, go ahead.
It was something, that's for sure. I don't think I regret going. That's for sure.
No. And it's unforgettable, which is, good or bad, how you look at it. It's going to be memorable forever. But outside of that adventure, you went on your own adventure. I've heard bits and pieces. Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, I went to my first board game convention down in Minneapolis. That was 2 weekends ago at this point. And it was called 2DCon Unplugged. It's kind of a version. They do a big one in the summer with video games and a whole bunch of stuff. This one's just straight up board games. And they limit to a generally small amount of people. So It's kind of a laid back, not, really highly scheduled or anything like that. It's basically a big board game library. And it was pretty good. Me and my wife went, and I want to say it was 16 games that we played.
That's insane.
And by the end of it, our brains were pretty fried because we were constantly choosing ones that we haven't had the opportunity to play yet. So it's breaking out the rules, learning the rules, and then playing the game, and then being like, oh, well, that was fun. Put it back, get another one. And after a while, like especially late at night, it's pretty tough to learn new rules on games.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, half the time, even if it's like the first game of the day I've pulled out, like I'll read the rule book and I'll be like, this is too much for me right now. Like, where's Connect 4? You know what I mean?
Yeah. We didn't play anything too heavy, but I guess I could talk about a few of the highlights. I think my favorite one there was a newer game called Moon Colony Bloodbath, and we ended up playing with two other groups of guys that had played it before, and they did a pretty good job teaching it and kind of made a good game out of it. It's kind of a game I've never had anything quite like it. It's a deck building game, so you're building up, your moon colony, right? You're adding things and it's getting better. You got your farm and your mine and your minerals and all that stuff, and you're growing making all these buildings. It feels really good because it's like, well, if I mine, then I get this farm thing and I get this bonus, and you're just stacking a whole bunch of stuff on top of it, right? But as you go along, there's one central deck that everybody uses, and bad things start happening, like bad events, like
Oh, sure.
earthquakes and robots and AI and a whole bunch of stuff. And it starts killing all your people, and your buildings are on the building. It shows how many people you have, and then there's also a resource of just people as well. But as shit starts going south, you end up like tearing down buildings just to pay for the people that are dying. So it's
Sure.
basically whoever wins the game is whoever has
Last
people left in
survivor.
their colony.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it's really interesting to have a game where you just ramp up and you think you're like, oh, I got the perfect kind of engine to build this thing out. I'm doing awesome, and to the point where it's like, oh, everybody's dying now, and I
Sure.
last, you know?
Sounds kind of cool though.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't think I would. When I first heard that, I thought, maybe I wouldn't like that, but I ended up really enjoying that one. Um, yeah, and then I learned how to play mahjong. That was weird.
Oh, I don't think I've ever actually seen anyone play mahjong in real life. It's always like the video game stuff I encounter.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
that's
all
the
your
one,
bootleg Famicom carts are always mahjong.
yeah. And the ones that I always remember, like on the computer, were like the matching ones where it was like a big stack where you like matched two of them together or something like that. And it's like, that's not what
Yeah.
the game actually is, right?
Oh, really?
It turns out it's kind of like rummy, basically just making
Oh,
triplets or runs and stuff like that. And then,
gotcha.
but you can't really take from other people unless it's very specific turn circumstances. But
Gotcha. So is that going to be your
and
new
then they were
hobby then?
like,
Is mahjong?
they have a club down in the cities that, every week you
Oh,
can go there, and it's like, it's us kind of nerdy anime guys and a bunch of old Japanese women, probably.
yeah. I was gonna say I just picture a dimly lit basement with like a bunch of Asian people chain smoking is like what I
Yeah,
envision for like
yeah.
a mahjong club. I know that's racist of me to say, but I've watched too many movies.
Yep.
Yeah.
But no, it would be fun. It is quite a bit of it translates to a lot of those type of card games that most of us know. And
Yeah. Makes sense. I mean, hence the universal appeal. Like it's like their version of, you know, Texas Hold'em or Solitaire, which is everywhere
yep,
over here on video game format too. So
yep.
that's cool.
Cards are easier to shuffle and deal
There's
out.
that. You don't need a
Tiles,
suitcase
mixing
to
them
carry
up.
your game
Yeah,
with you.
yeah,
Yeah. It's a good workout.
yeah. But you got to take that when you can, right? Like, when else are you going to learn how to play mahjong, right?
Right.
Unless
Yeah.
you teach it yourself, and that's like, well, I'm sure there's a Nintendo game out there that would gladly teach you how to do it, but
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not as fun.
I bet there's a million options on Steam too. So
Mm-hmm.
I pick up a 99-cent version.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I actually played a board game I didn't have it on my list, but since we're talking about it, I went to the greatest Midwest store of Menards because I needed something for the house, and then my wife is like, "Let's go through the toys." So they're clearancing all their crap right now because Christmas is over, and we found like a board game for $5 called Cat Appult, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's everybody gets a catapult, and all the cats are made of Velcro, and you have to try and fling all your cats into a pile before the other person. It is the shittiest, dumbest game for 5-year-olds, but it's kind of fun because it's like one of those games where like crap just flies all over the table, so you're mostly just like screaming at the people you're playing with to give
Yep.
you your pieces back. But yeah, I don't know if it qualifies as a board game as much as a toddler toy, but we gave it a go anyway.
Yeah, that's Menards has some stuff sometimes where it's like, where did you find where did this come from, right? It's kind of
Yeah,
amazing sometimes.
it is just like all their like odd Chinese tech, like that whole section too, where you like walk in sometime and there's like some weird like hybrid like fucking smartphone lamp solar generator, like it's just stuff that shouldn't exist and like is definitely just absolute trash that came from the same people who supply Timu. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Gaming wise, I didn't play too much. I got the itch to do Rocket League again. I hadn't played it in forever. And I was just like, oh, what's something I could like casually do on the Switch too? So I installed it. I will say, like, the Switch controller in handheld form is not very comfortable for Rocket League, where you want like a good ergonomic grip and like those shoulder buttons are awkward to hit, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So I played 2 sessions. My first session, I think I played for like, must have been almost 2 hours because my battery ran out and I did not win a single match. I was just like really struggling to get back into the physics and the angles. And then I played some more this week and I came out probably with like a 75% win rate. I also switched to triples instead of doubles because I prefer doubles, but I'm definitely not good enough yet to like subject another human being to trusting me to do anything important because it's not there yet. But yeah, still a great game.
Has it changed much since? I mean, you probably haven't played it too much since Epic's bottom, right?
Yeah, and as far as I can tell, it's basically the same formula. I mean, it's free to play now, which is great. I still think it's like one of the best like casual and couch co-op games, or maybe not couch co-op, but like online. Jump in 10-minute match, and it still does the thing well. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll keep continuing to put time into it, but it's been fun while it lasted.
Yeah, it's like riding a bike, right?
Except not really at all. Hopefully, I can still ride a bike in the spring. We'll have to find out. So we had a Nintendo Direct last week, a developer direct, right? Or partner direct, or whatever they call it. Kind of a short one. Whatever that game is, though, that's like the couch co-op anime thing. I forget the name. I think it led off the direct. Like that thing looks amazing. Like I need to play it just for the visuals.
Yeah, the fact that they nailed it so much, that it looks just like a anime like that, is it's kind of crazy. There's a few games that are kind of doing that now, and it's like this is really interesting to do this specific era of anime, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we've just gotten to the point now where like the filters, like the 4K resolution, like really makes that stuff pop in a way that like cell shading was just never that good before, but this is just like drawn to life almost.
Yeah. And it looks like it's
curious.
Kind of like a split fiction, that type of, that guy's type of game. It's not from them, I don't think, but
yeah, it looks very cool. Then the rest of the direct, I'm kind of blanking on. I don't know if anything like super interesting jumped out.
That Capcom game where there's like a little girl on the guy's back all the time.
Oh,
he's like a space. That one looks kind of interesting. When it popped up where it's like a shooter, but you also have to like do a hacking mini game,
right?
To do like, I thought that was cool to begin with, and then the more I thought about it, like every encounter that way, that might get a little old. I don't know.
Yeah, it felt like, to me, it reminded me of like Dead Space, except you have that Megan robot with you. It's just like your friend and not trying to murder you. The art style looked cool though.
Yeah, I might be for that one. Might check that one out.
I'm sure that'll be worth checking out. Hopefully there's like a demo of it. I know there were a couple demos that were going live same day. And then like that last bombshell or whatever, like the Ender, just like the Bethesda thing where it's just like, we're bringing more Bethesda games that are like decades old. And I'm like, well, it's cool. Like, are you going to sell that many? I don't know. I mean, maybe Fallout 4, that game seems to be evergreen. And I guess anything,
Did they
any of their
say
open world
Starfield?
RPGs.
I don't remember if that was the one or
don't
not.
think so. I don't think so.
I wonder if they're just kind of not acknowledging that anymore. I
That
don't
that
know.
exists.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bethesda's been so weird since they got acquired. I mean, it's kind of the same thing that happens with all these studios. It's like you get into the Microsoft camp, and then all of a sudden everything goes dark, and the projects that people were actually looking forward to get canceled. And
yeah, well, especially now. I mean, they did the thing that they do, right? Like it wasn't they. I don't think they did it as well in some cases, but they did what they usually do, and it kind of flopped. So now what? I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully, I mean, it's not for
Probably
me, but
Fallout
like it's always
5.
good to see. Yeah, it's good to see this stuff come to the Switch, right? Like, and it gives you some hope that maybe like their next for like new releases will start showing up day and date. But I guess we'll see. But other than that, I felt like kind of a disappointing direct. Wasn't super into it. I feel like
Yeah,
we're
I
in such
know.
a game drought right now, and all Nintendo wants to talk about is their stupid Mario movie. But I'm sure it'll be fine. But tell me what's coming out.
It's a Virtual Boy all the time right now.
Yeah, I saw that the thing sold out on Nintendo Switch Online.
Yeah.
It's like I hadn't bought it yet because I'm like, well, what's the point of buying it before it releases? Like, I'll just get it then. I'm sure it'll restock, but I still suspect that fucking thing is gonna play just fine docked. And then I won't need to stick my face in that stupid thing for the 3D effect. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, that would be surprising if they didn't have some sort of 2D emulator.
Yeah,
for that thing. At least later, I could see them wanting to sell something with it, but
sell $99 shells. Yeah,
yeah.
Do you think they still had the original molds for the actual Virtual Boy, or do you think they had to like replicate it retroactively?
Yeah, I don't
They
know.
hated that. Like they failed to acknowledge its existence for at least 10 years.
Yeah. That's true. I wonder. I mean, that's really the most amazing thing that it even is out again, right? Like they are acknowledging it, right?
Yeah, embracing their failure.
Even as it'd be one thing if they just had it as part of their history. For a long time, they didn't even have it as that, really.
No, yeah, it was scrubbed off their site for quite a while.
But the fact that they're putting work into actually putting stuff back, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be cool to get some like the unreleased or unfinished prototypes and stuff. Like that's the neat part. Because the original library, there's not too many games in there you're going to want to sink much time into, to be honest.
Unless you like bowling.
Yeah, that's true. I guess there's
like
two
what,
of them,
5 bowling games?
There's at least a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is impressive for a 1-year run. Well, speaking of sports games, I put this down here because I can't understand for the life of me why this is. It's probably not going to happen, but they are trying to get a Tecmo Bowl movie off the ground. Isn't why? Why would you need to do that and call it Tecmo Bowl? Like, is there enough brand recognition there that makes any sense at all? Like, couldn't you just make a normal football movie?
If you don't want to pay the NFL,
maybe, right? But you're gonna have to pay somebody to license the the Tecmo thing, I guess.
But I mean, you gotta get Bo Jackson in the house, right?
It's true.
In a mocap suit at that point.
Yeah, I read this article. I'm like, they're like in pre-production shopping this thing around, but I'm like, there's no way it gets off the ground. Like, I bet we never hear about it again. And I think it might have been like a thing where it was coming to streaming and not theaters, but still, seems insane to me.
I think there's a very short window of brand recognition for that type of thing.
Yeah. And I wonder what they would do. Would it be like some weird over the top, like anime-ish type football thing? Or would they or do you play it straight? Like, I don't know.
Because it's so weird. Yeah. Huh. Because even like when Super Nintendo came out, like I feel like nobody even really
was already done. quarterback club and that kind of stuff kind of ate its lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got into the Maddens and it was kind of over. So
yeah,
interesting choice, I thought.
Huh.
I probably won't be holding my breath for that one to come out.
It'll be Turning Point USA's Tecmo Bowl.
God. Oh, that's awesome. Did you watch the Super Bowl then?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Heard it was a pretty uneventful game.
Yeah, it was pretty boring for the most part. Other than at the very end, my wife had some money on the line from her job. For they do these boards where whatever score, right? It's garbage time at the end. They're just trying to run out the clock. And I'm like, you're not going to win. They're not going to get touchdown. They're just going to run the ball until the clock is done. And the guy breaks a run, goes all the way down for a touchdown. And my wife's freaking out. Like, I'm going to win $200, right?
Mm-hmm.
They threw a flag and said, oh, holding. Bring that one back.
No. No. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went and bought it. Well, because like I mentioned, I was at Menards. I bought a cheap like aerial antenna just to see like if I could get a decent signal at my house. I couldn't have my old one, and I had it coming in. I turned to the Super Bowl for all of like 2 minutes, and then I think it was like second quarter, and the score was still like 3-0. I'm like, yeah, I'm not missing much here. I don't think so. Yeah.
And apparently, the all most the commercials suck. So.
Yeah, I feel like that's not been good in a long time. But it was like the most viewed Super Bowl in history, apparently. Like 126 million people. So
really? Wow.
It's kind of crazy.
Well, you had Puerto Rico watching this time. That probably
bumped it up a little bit. Those damn non-Americans watching our foosball.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I did watch an actual movie. I caught Anaconda. The remake, which is a pretty damn good movie. I mean, you got Paul Rudd and Jack Black, who are both just insane. So they mostly carry the movie, right? And like the whole premise is like they made films as a kid, and the one Paul Rudd's character is a washed-up actor, and Jack Black's character wanted to be a filmmaker, but he just like makes wedding videos for people. So Paul Rudd convinces him after getting fired from a bit role he was doing. He walks by an Anaconda poster, so then he just decides to tell Jack Black and his friends that I have the rights to Anaconda. Let's remake it. So that's the whole premise, is they are going to do this like bootleg, like on a $40,000 budget movie remake of reimagining of Anaconda, and then they fly down to wherever and basically end up being stuck in Anaconda the movie, essentially. So they go from like filming to just like trying not to die, which is it's like such a lazy and stupid way to do a reboot like this, but it's also just hilarious. And I don't know, I liked it a lot. It's very, very stupid. But I think that's exactly what they were going for. So
when I first saw kind of the trailer, I had the vibe of like, this seems like a pseudo sequel to Tropic Thunder a little bit.
Yeah, kind of. It's got those vibes. But it's good though. I liked it a lot. And I think my favorite part, well, I'm not spoiling too much, but like, they always reference the old movie, and then they find themselves at one point stuck and being attacked by the snake. And then like all of a sudden Ice Cube just comes out and like starts unloading flares at the snake. It's like, of course they got Ice Cube back for this.
They got him back. Like, wow.
And then Paul Rudd's like, where's J-Lo? Like, dude. It's so funny. Yeah, I recommend it when it comes out. I caught it early because it was on our Plex server. It's obviously still in theaters, and I would imagine it'll be on streaming by summertime. So definitely give it a watch. It's just kind of nice to watch a movie like that, because like you just don't get comedies of any kind anymore. So it's like you got to support the ones that do come out.
Yeah. I finished The Chair Company.
Chair Company? What is that?
This is the I Think You Should Leave guy, Tim Robinson.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it's yeah, it's basically just him unraveling because he fell down in a chair during an important meeting. So then it was like he was just blaming the chair and just obsessed about the chair company, and it ends up being like some big actual cover up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's like 8 episodes or something like that, and it's kind of hit or miss. I mean, I think his comedy maybe doesn't work for a long show.
Sure.
I would say that most of the time, Adult Swim style stoner comedy doesn't work for more than 10 minutes on the same
Right.
bit. But
Yeah, kind of the problem I had with that movie he did with Paul Rudd, and it was just like, ugh, this is too
yeah,
much, it's too cringe for too long.
yep. But
Yeah,
it was all right. I would like to see him do another shot at something kind of like that. It's definitely will be his type of comedy. But
was that a Prime thing?
HBO.
HBO. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I saw previews for it, and I was like, I will not watch that, but I know a lot of people will. So,
yeah.
yeah, I'm just too awkward for his style of comedy. It just makes me feel very uncomfortable in ways that
Yeah.
aren't funny to me.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, that's what it is. It's basically finding the weird, uncomfortable, parts of normal day to day thing, and then just like blowing it up into
yeah,
a big thing that didn't need to be that way, right?
right, right. That's funny. What else do I got? Oh yeah, did you see this PlayStation thing where Sony has patented AI generated podcasts? So what they want to do is they want to push this onto your PlayStation home screen, and they'll just have random AI generated character voice actors from like their characters, like Parappa the Rappa or whoever. Like I suppose it's based on what you play, and then it will just like generate AI podcasts to like introduce you to what's going on in your PlayStation universe, then also like your friends and like who played what and stuff. Seems really fucking weird. Like
Yeah.
it's just like a
I
daily nugget that like auto generates based on your game history and friend list, I guess.
Do you use that type of thing in like even like the assistants where it's like a good morning type thing and they go through things like that? I don't think
No.
I really have. That's the thing they pitch in all those commercials for that type of thing. And this seems right in line with that, where it's like, really, I don't really care to
Right.
even know that stuff overall. So like, I
Yeah.
don't know.
It seems like a feature that I would very much turn off if it were pushed on me. Because it's not why I'm firing up my PlayStation is to hear Parappa give me what's new in the PlayStation ecosystem. But maybe I'm crazy.
Parappa here. Here's a news PlayStation news. Nothing about me ever.
Right. Yeah, I was laughing when I read the article too, because like that was like the picture they used. I don't know if that was like something that came up. I doubt it, but I'm like, nobody remembers that character who's not like 40. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
we're coming. That's Tecmo Bowl. That's coming up on that area
Yes,
too.
100%.
Yeah. That Sony's been also been saying a lot about like AI in video games as far as like helping the player figure out things, like more hand-holdy stuff inside the game,
I don't know if I like that.
or even like take controls to be like, please figure this out for me.
I
And it's
also don't
like
like
this is a
that.
little bit too much.
Wouldn't it be cool though, like if you could do like a squad-based shooter or something, or even like a Rocket League, and then just insert like an AI that just like learns to shit talk like you do, and like the next thing you know, like it's just
And it's
cursing at you
Parappa.
constantly, like nice shot, dipshit. Like, it's just putting you down as you play, which is like what I feel like all those things devolve into when you're playing with people anyway.
I guess
Yeah,
if I had to pick a voice, I'd pick probably Kratos to do that,
yeah.
to do the
I
shit
could see
talking. I
Kratos.
think that.
Yeah, I could see him as a good antagonist for your co-op sessions. A little terrifying, very stern. Uh, but what? But Kratos, like historically, will not talk in those games. So, well, at least the newer ones,
Yeah.
he just calls his kid boy a lot. And
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's
Yeah.
I don't know anything even about this, but they made like a kind of like a New Horizon game, like a multiplayer game or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's
Or they
out?
announced it. I don't know if it's out yet or they announced it. I mean, it seems like any type of announcement for these type of games, it's like it's already dead when you announce it, right? I don't know.
Right. I don't think Horizon became like the brand they wanted it to be at all. You know what I mean? Like I feel like the first
They're still
one,
trying.
I know, but like that second one kind of came out and went like so damn fast.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then there's a Lego
I
one, and
picked
I
it
think they're
up because I
making a
think I
TV
got,
show.
no kidding. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the game is a TV show that you
Yeah.
play a little bit of. I don't know. I bought the sequel and I have never put it in because like I got it like $10 and it came with a PS5 like upgrade disc as well. I was like, well, maybe I'll get around to this, but I just really didn't like my time with the first game. Like I made myself play through it, but I was basically just like mainlining it towards the end because I didn't find the world very
Hmm.
interesting. And I didn't find like the talent tree and like the unlocks and different skills all that interesting when like the first three main skills you learn are enough to get you easily through the game. It's like
Yeah. And these
if you're
really
not gonna
stuck
make
to
the
them.
consequences higher for me to have to learn something new, I'm not gonna do it. 'Cause I'm lazy.
Yeah. I I think Uncharted did a lot of that too. Like I felt like Uncharted was like a lot of that where you you learned how to play the way you wanted to early, and then it was
Yeah.
like any of the new stuff was like, well,
Yeah. I still need to like dust those off because I bought like the collection and then all the ones that came out on PS4 and stuff. And I just never played them because I played through the first
hmm,
one, which I didn't mind. I just found it, like the whole like duck and cover gimmick of that era, between that and Gears, like I was just kind of over it. And then once they went with like the weird like zombie creature thing route at the end, I was like, oh, this really isn't interesting to me. So,
mm-hmm.
and I just
It's funny
didn't.
though because the first one is definitely the weakest one out of all of
Oh,
them.
really?
I think it's
But
they all get
two
better
is the
from there.
best, right? At least most people think.
I mean, when it came out, I was blown away. I wonder now that games probably have caught up a lot in as far as the set piece
Sure.
action goes. That if it holds up as well, like it wouldn't be as mind blowing. I don't think
Sure.
because if you take that away, it might not be as good because the gunplay in those games is just not that good, and it
No, I
constantly
agree.
the flanking of enemies constantly coming around you and shooting you was so annoying all the time in those games.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of been on my to-do list is to get my PS4 hooked back up because I've got a really good PlayStation 4 library and I kind of just played a lot of Rocket League through most of that generation. So most of
Mm,
those just sat shrink wrapped. So it's like, might as well dive into the backlog, right? I mean, the PS4 graphics, I feel like, are pretty damn good. So it's not like a jarring jump back to an outdated generation or anything.
well, they're still making games for it, so are they?
Are they really? Like
I think so.
exclusively
Yeah.
PS4? Wow.
I don't know exclusively, but they're still making ports back to it on a lot of stuff.
That's kind of crazy. I suppose it's got a massive install base. And then the
Hmm.
PS5 was so like limited in its production when it started. I suppose it's so crazy to me too. Like like they're talking PS6 and stuff already, and it's just like I feel like five isn't even off the ground yet, and they're trying to replace
I
it.
know. I know. There's maybe like five, maybe good exclusive games on on PS5, right? At this point, and it's
Yeah.
like, how could you say that you're ready for a new generation after that? I don't know.
Well, yeah, and they're so like eager to get all the like Sony at least all of their stuff over to PC as quick as they can. So it's like nothing's
Hmm.
exclusive forever. I do think that like rumored portable version of the PS6 is intriguing. I just can't believe that Sony would produce it and support it and market it in any meaningful way though, because it seems like anything that's not a home console, they just like throw off to die. Like even the
Yeah.
portal, like whoa, like I bet there's a ton of people that don't even know the portal exists.
Yeah. They don't really use it for anything, right?
Right.
Yeah. It's I don't think anything's going to be coming out anytime soon with the way like RAM prices on computers are right now. That
Yeah.
I mean, the
I
Steam
know, it's
machine is kind of
insane.
like I don't know when we're doing this really.
Yeah, I saw that latest announcement. They're like, we thought we would have pricing out in the release date by now, but like because of this stranglehold on RAM, I mean, it's going to put them in a bad position. And I think people
Mm-hmm.
were really excited about it. So it sucks that this thing that like theoretically could have come in around, the $700-800 mark stands zero chance in hell of being there now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be minimum 1,000.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the Xbox handheld, I mean, that kind of thing kind of bombed because of the pricing too. So
Yeah. Well, and just like the damage they've done to their brand, you know what I mean?
mm,
Like it's not,
mm-hmm.
it doesn't have the recognition anymore for sure, which is sad. I honestly think like if they can't figure something out in this next gen, like eventually Microsoft's gonna say like, let's stop losing money on this, right? I mean, maybe they'll keep publishing games and be like a third party dev with the catalog of stuff they own. But as far as hardware goes, like they're just gonna be like, no, you're gonna start porting this shit to PCs and Switch and all that stuff.
Or it's a Copilot prompt that
Oh
generates games
god.
for you.
Yeah. Speaking of prompts, have you launched Netflix lately?
I don't know. I mean, I have. I've watched a little bit of Stranger Things. I'm catching up on it. But
Okay, because like I they updated their user interface a little bit, and I was in there the other day, and like now they have like game section like in their top sections. So if you scroll down a little bit, like there's all these games, even Lego Party and stuff, and presumably you just launch it, and then through a QR code, your phone is your controller. And I have not tried any of this out yet, but like I'm like that's kind of cool. I mean, I always knew you could do it on like the mobile app and install some of these, but if you can just like stream games straight from your TV, I mean, that's already included in a service you're paying for.
yeah, I think
It's
it.
kind of neat.
And a lot of the ones that are on there are kind of smart because they do like Jackbox and those type of games where it's like that's a
Yeah.
good implementation. Like that's a good crossover for the type of people that would
Yeah.
use that. I think.
Well, and I've been dying to try that Lego Party game, but like I like hovered over it with my family. I was like, Lego Party, everybody, and like everyone's like, no, like shut the hell up. I'm like,
We're a Mario
thanks,
Party
guys.
household.
Well, nobody likes Mario Party in our house except me and my wife too. The kids hate it when we make them play it. They get so mad, which I get. They're bullshit games, but they're still fun sometimes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know Lego Party was on there. That's interesting.
Yeah, especially because that's pretty new.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah,
I mean, I think they still own some things, some game studios. I don't know. I mean, Facebook is holy cow. They killed pretty much all of their game
did they?
studios that they had going. But they were working on VR stuff, so
Yeah, that's
mostly.
true.
Turns out that's not the good market to be in right now.
Who knew?
Mm.
Well, should we go on to staff picks?
Yeah.
I'll let you go first because I'm curious.
This is I watched a movie today that only the newest of new. I think it came out last year, around this time
Okay.
last year, so it's been out for a while. It's called Mickey 17, and it stars Robert Pattinson and directed by the Korean guy who did Parasite, kind of won all the awards, right?
Okay.
Um, and kind of the basis for this is it's a science fiction movie where people are leaving Earth to go somewhere else, to start a new colony somewhere else, right? And the main character in this movie signed up to be something called an expendable. And stop if you heard this before, because this is very prevalent in video games. That when you die, you just get reprinted.
Okay.
Your body becomes reprinted, and then they load in your memories and everything like that. But so that's kind of the main part of the movie is that. But then in the last half of it, with those type of situations that can unfurl,
Because I
in
assume
a
they're
science
putting him in
fiction-y
like the
kind of way.
worst, most dangerous situations all the time.
Yeah, he's
That's the
kind of
gig
the
he
guinea
signed up
pig on
for.
a lot of stuff.
Gotcha.
Like, oh, there's a virus on this place that we found, so we have to figure out how we.
Sure.
So it's a lot of that. He's on his 17th life, basically. That's why it's Mickey 17th. And yeah, some things happen in ways that you could probably imagine would happen in this type of premise. But then the end of it kind of turns into a different type of movie. It kind of really focuses, it just says, okay, now that you know the premise of, this guy, now let's kind of back out and see the scope of the rest of the movie. Kind of the crew and this planet and everything. And it kind of has a little bit of the Avatar feeling of like, the humans trying to do this thing with an unknown world, trying to take it
Sure.
over and stuff like that. So it's got a little bit of that in there, but it's in a really weird way. It's not as straightforward as I think most directors would probably write this story or make it, and which I kind of appreciate. And Robert Pattinson, for a guy who was the Twilight guy,
Yeah.
he is one hell of an actor. Like
Oh yeah.
the fact
I
that you
love him.
can just the different voices he makes in this and how each one of the people that each life is completely different,
Oh really?
like how he acts and everything, it's kind of nuts.
Yeah, I've
um
always been impressed with everything he's done outside of the Twilight movies. I've
yeah.
liked a lot of his stuff. I even like the Batman one, to be honest.
Hmm. Hmm. But
So
yeah,
overall,
I
this is
I
a
recommend
worthwhile
it.
movie.
Yeah, I think so. It's a good
Okay.
kind of campy science fiction thing. Like obviously don't take it too seriously. It's not.
Right. Yeah, I do recall seeing trailers of this now that you mention it. So I'll have to keep an eye out and see if I can find it on anything streaming. Did you get where did you find it?
I think it's on HBO, but I think I saw it on Prime too.
Okay.
Maybe.
I'll have to take a look. I don't think I have access to Prime right now either because like my TV
Hmm.
took a shit on Friday, so I had to buy a new
Hmm.
smart TV and I was borrowing that access anyway, so I can't log it back
Hmm.
in. Just sad. Which means I've also lost Plex right now. So
Hmm.
really kind of just stuck with Netflix and Paramount, which is not a great combo, but hopefully I can get that stuff back.
Yeah. How about you?
Mine's very simple. It's called Spanglish Asadero, which is a spice brand, which I'm guessing based on the name is just some American company culturally appropriating, Mexican food. But I bring it up because I've gotten really like a lot of people, the birria tacos have gotten very popular. And I like making them like the proper way, where like you slow cook it with the chilies and the everything, and then blend it up and have your sauce. But this company, which I've found them at Target and a couple other stores, makes a birria seasoning blend in a pouch. Like if you really just want to take all the work out of that and just like season some like pork or steak or whatever you want to do or birria tacos, it is so good and is like 1/10 of the effort of actually making a proper birria taco. Um, I highly recommend it. It's very good. This last time I doctored it up a little bit and put some like um broth in and then like a little tomato sauce too to kind of like give it more juice, but it is great. Like it
Hmm.
tastes pretty much spot on like a good birria would. And yeah, it's like $2 and saves you hours of slow cooking and blending stuff up. And so I'm all for being lazy, especially right now with my range or oven not working. This is much better. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty much just season it right on the stove then.
Yep. Yeah. I ended up making a pork roast because they had pork shoulder on sale for Super Bowl. So I just did one, like slow cooked it overnight and then shredded it up in a pan with some of this seasoning, and it's great. Had tacos, quesadillas the next day. Shit's good on everything.
Is it spicy?
It's not super spicy. There has got like that weird, like kind of mole type flavor to it too, where it's almost like that cinnamony or like sweet with the spicy. My wife has bought their just straight like ground beef base, like ground beef taco, but like just taco mix, and she said that was like insanely good too. So if you see it, check it out. It's got interesting packaging. It's like all black with like a face painted up like Aztec looking woman. So it stands out. It is, $2 versus like the 75 cents you'd pay for like the normal garbage crap, but it's worth it.
Yeah, we might try that. That sounds good.
It is good. I do recommend.
If you're having a good time with us at Weekend Rental, I think you might enjoy all the great geeky stuff found on the Geekade Podcast Network. They've got podcasts about games, music, movies, and more. Plus, if you order off their secret menu, also known as the Geekade Patreon, you just might find an exclusive movie podcast hosted by Ryan and myself. Check it out over at geekade.com. And hey, if you'd like to turn Weekend Rental into a true multimedia experience, our YouTube and Twitch channels might just be for you.
I guess that gets us on to our Weekend Rental. So the Weekend Rental, of course, Andy and I will play a game for a given system, and then we'll give our opinions as to whether we would personally buy, rent, or burn that game. We're talking about the Sega Genesis this episode. In a late, odd release, Virtua Fighter 2. Looks like it came out in 96 for the Genesis.
Jeez. That's pretty late.
At least based on the title screen. And it's just so odd to see it appear there because, Virtua Fighter, for those who were our age, remember that being like kind of the first breakthrough 3D fighting game. I mean, it started that whole, thing, Tekken and Dead or Alive and all that stuff that followed, but that was the whole gimmick of Virtua Fighter, right? It was 3D.
Yeah. And a Saturn, I mean, it really pushed the Saturn.
Yeah. Yeah, it was probably out on the Saturn at the same time that this was ported to the Genesis.
Yeah.
So yeah, like this port is what you would expect. It's a fighting game that they've tried to sort of do some smart techniques on to make it seem pseudo 3D on the Genesis, but you are very much playing on a 2D plane. It looks like maybe they did some like 3D modeling or rendering. It's not like super good though, right? It's not like Vector Man or Donkey Kong Country good. Like things don't pop to that extent.
Right. It almost looks like they rendered it on the Saturn and then smoothed it a little bit, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Like, I mean, the backdrops and like it sort of has like a depth of feel to it that is neat to see on the Sega Genesis. And I don't know what like the character like roster list is. It seems very small. So I'd have to imagine like actual Virtua Fighter has more fighters than this because there's
I think so.
7, 8.
Yeah, there's not many in this one. Yeah, I almost certainly has more in the other ones. I mean, we should put in a frame of reference that neither of us are fighting game connoisseurs at any level, so we're not the ones to go to probably to say, is this a competent fighter even, really?
Right.
Just going off of casual.
Yeah, I'm more of the button masher type and hope to God I win.
Which you can get you pretty far in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean there's the powerful kick button. There's the punch button and a block button. Hitting up does a very exaggerated and very floaty jump. You almost feel like gravity doesn't exist on this planet, or maybe you were like Super Saiyan or something. But yeah, I wasn't able to in my play sessions able to figure out like a combo system or like usually there's like kind of the things you can try that will unlock or by accident give you a more powerful move. But I wasn't able to figure anything out in my play session. But that's probably more me than anything.
I think the only thing I noticed was, if you do like a charge run, then you maybe get a few more things like that. But yeah, beyond that, there's a couple times that I was able to juggle a kick, which felt good, but that was about the most fun I could really get any out of this. Oftentimes it was do something to the point where they fall down, and then you had to back up and wait for them to get up. Otherwise, they would just kind of kick you right away while they were getting up. It was kind of weird. And a very short timer, which I kind of appreciate.
Yeah, 30-second rounds, right?
That oftentimes, it was kind of a 50-50 shot whether or not I even got to, somebody dying, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I found myself doing the same thing. Knock them down, back up, charge attack back in, and then, what's cool is like, because it was Virtua Fighter's a 3D game, it's got like that ring out option, and they kept that here, which is nice. So like if you land enough successful, like powerful kicks and stuff, you can ring your opponent out, in 3 smart bursts, which is fun. But yeah, like nothing about it felt, when you think about what else is on the Genesis, like the Mortal Kombats, there's a good Street Fighter port. This probably didn't need to get ported. I think they probably ported it knowing that the Genesis had a massive install base and that Virtua Fighter back then had huge name recognition. And they were hoping it would sell a few copies. But I'd imagine that this is one of those games that, like, towards the end of the Genesis, when they were still supporting it along with the Game Gear for like way too long, that you were going to find like this along with a copy of like Sonic Spinball and like Desert Strike. Like, I'm guessing this was like some of the last stuff you saw at retailers.
Yeah.
And I don't know anyone that owned it. You know what I mean?
No. Even I've maybe only had 2 copies of it, when I was really going through stuff. So, there's Sega stuff. If it was a Sega property, usually you had it quite a bit, I don't know how many Sonic games I've had in my life, but it's and this one I think I like the backgrounds and the parallax scrolling and stuff like that was kind of really good for this type of fighting game. I mean, obviously on the Super Nintendo side, that was already a thing. It wasn't a huge problem over there. But for whatever reason, this one popped a little bit more than I think a lot of the Mortal Kombats do on a Genesis, for example.
And like the animations, at least like the like winning animations for each character was like super fluid and like well animated, and kind of made them seem more like lifelike in 3D. I don't know that it had enough, smooth fighting, like character art. Like that part still felt very basic and clunky.
But I think that's Virtua Fighter too. I mean, when
also
you play on Saturn, it's already kind of a weird, clunky 3D thing anyway.
Yeah, that's very true. Wasn't like the Saturn one like kind of infamous for like the first version being like really shitty, and then they like redid it, right? Like there's like a version 2.
Yeah,
I want to say that's true.
Made a remix or whatever, right? Too. Yeah. The sprites though, I think, are more detailed. I mean, obviously you can have more, Akira's clothes actually have like some depth to them. Whereas, on a 3D thing, it's just polygons, but
yeah, the music I found pretty grating and simple, but I guess maybe that's offset by the fact that the rounds are so short that like they don't stick around long enough to become super annoying.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like you said, like I have a hard time reviewing this because I've never understood the mechanics in depth in fighting games. And I certainly wasn't figuring it out here. So I couldn't tell you whether or not like fundamentally the gameplay is fun in that regard. I just think like it's kind of a neat looking game for the Sega Genesis, I guess.
It's probably better than your average fighter on the Genesis, I would say.
Yeah, I mean there was a lot of them, right? That was like the hot genre at the time. That was like the FPS of the day. Like every fighter they could port, they did.
Now, do you prefer a block button or kind of just, the classic hold back and block?
Yeah, I don't like a dedicated block button in a fighter. I think it's a problem. I think it's because of weak gameplay. Like, to be honest, like it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I can see both ways, right? Because I mean, if you're doing the other type of block, it's hard to advance on the opponent sometimes, right?
Sure. Yeah, that's true.
I don't think if you're playing a high level, it doesn't matter, but
it sucks in this game though, where it's like, you kick your opponent down and then they just get up with block already like engaged. And it's like, well, now I'm just waiting for them to make a move, and it's kind of annoying.
Yeah. So, yeah. And you can definitely tell, especially in a fighting game where a Genesis, you got your 3 buttons laid out across a straight line, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
It's way more conducive to a fighting game than on the Switch, where it's like the 3,
right, tiny buttons that are all next to each other.
Yeah, the left and then the bottom and then the right. It's does not flow as well, I would say.
Well, I've always wondered too with like the Genesis stuff on the Switch if some of those games probably supported the 6-button option. Like obviously there's no configuration for that on the controller in any way for the Switch. So there's
probably, it's weird.
Yeah, there probably was better. I bet there was a 6-button control setup. Maybe not. I don't know enough about Virtua Fighter and what it looks like in the arcade to see that for sure, but it seems like it would have been conducive to that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know enough about Virtua Fighter. I just always think of it as a bare bones thing already. It was just the popular because of the 3D aspect of it.
It felt more like a tech demo than like something that was actually like, well, I mean, I know like the later versions, like by the PS2, like that, it was like huge at that point.
Yeah.
But it also resembled nothing what, these first 2 games did. So.
There's a new one, right? I think coming out.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
Just kind of crazy.
It'll be at some Evo event or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what would you rate this thing? I know it's kind of hard, but
I mean, I would feel bad giving it a burn because I can't say that it was that terrible of a game. Right. I think it was competent enough of what it was doing. I just think the whole thing surrounding it is weird. That, porting it backwards.
That it even exists, yeah.
To that point into a completely different new thing, right?
Yeah, you took the Virtua out of Virtua Fighter.
That's right.
So you're going rent?
I think I'll do a rent, yeah. Pretty late rent, but...
Yeah. I'll give it a rent, too, just because I don't know enough about fighting games to say that it should be burnt. And I think it's neat to see it running on the Sega Genesis. Definitely a game that I would never pick up again, I don't think, but I'm glad I got to check it out. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
There's just nothing interesting enough in it to really push it over the edge for somebody who isn't even into games, right?
Right.
Or something like Soul Calibur or something like that is like...
Yeah, that has mass appeal, even if you're not a fighting game fan.
Yeah, and it's the same... it's kind of the same genre. It's still weird things and weird people fighting each other, but for some reason the flow of that game works so much better than Virtua Fighter. But
I agree. But I guess that takes us to the end of yet another episode, huh?
That's going to do it. If you'd like to reach out to us and let us know how wrong we are about fighting games, because we're definitely not the one. Maybe this is like the holy thing where it's like this is the pinnacle of 2D fighting games on the Genesis.
Something tells me that's not the case, but
I don't think so. But could be wrong. We're at weekendrentalpodcast@gmail.com if you want to reach out to us. We're on the Patreon Geekade, the Geekade Network. They kind of do a bunch of nerdy stuff just like us, podcasts, even with the video variety now, which is pretty cool. We do a movie podcast on their Patreon, so definitely check them out if you want to hear more about us. We promise we know more about the movies that we talk about sometimes than we do fighting games, but but that's gonna do it. So be kind, rewind.
Bananas.